Okay, keep an eye, watch him, watch him. Oh, it looks a little sketchy. Let's go back to that. Hey, welcome back to another episode 5, in fact. If you look, we got a new name. It's Mini Moto Monday, because there's way too many motorcycles out there to be talking about only the monkey bike. And so I'm going to open it up, broaden our horizons a little bit. Nothing's really going to change. It's just a name. It's Mini Moto Monday. That's the new thing. So lock it in your brain. Last week we had a top 10 list of all these things you might not know about the Honda monkey bike. Check that out if you haven't seen that video. But in the video, I got something wrong. I said the red plaid seat only came out in 2023. And in fact, it actually came out in 2023 and in 2024. As I'm planning out some future episodes, I was looking through some Japanese monkey bike magazines and I came across a cool article. Now, every one of these pages I have to translate, but as I got to this page, I noticed this little call out here in the corner. When we zoom in here and we look, it shows that red plaid seat I talked about in the video, and it says the same thing I was saying. It says this seat's limited run. You might want to get an extra one if you want one, because it might not be available eventually. Interesting to see. Now, it didn't say that they're not making them anymore, but there are a limited run. So I was right about that, even though I got the years wrong. But if you haven't seen last week's episode, be sure to check that out. I cover all kinds of fun little facts and things you might know about, some things you might not know about, some pretty cool stuff. But in today's episode, we're talking about folding motorcycles. This is the DiBlasi folding motorcycle. Now, this little mini bike has been around since the 1970s, and we're on the main site. I think this is the United States distributor website. I love it, man. It's classic. This is a classic website. So what we're looking at here is a $1,900 folding bike. So before we get into this, let's watch a little promo video, and I'm just going to kind of cut through here, and we're not going to watch it in real time. I'll put a link in the description if you want to watch this whole video. But they're going to fly, they're going to land, they unpack the bike, pull it out. Let's see this thing get unfolded. Oh, she's going to do it. Here we go. Okay, great. Boom. Boom. Wow, look at that. 3 steps. That took 3 steps, and off you go. DiBlasi, the fastest, smallest, lightest folding motorcycle made. Motorbike, sorry. They're cruising. So let's get some stats up here real quick as that's playing. I have some stuff here. This thing goes about 22 miles an hour max, has a little 49cc engine, and they started making these things in 1974. I'm going to pause this right here because I found this other website that I think details everything a lot better. So it's just easier just to bring it up. Super cool to find this site, by the way. And like I said, everything's going to be linked in the description. So here's all the different versions of this little folding mini bike. 1974 all the way up till now. The reason this thing's so unique, I came across this on Facebook Marketplace and I was like, what is this? And then I just did a whole deep dive into this and I thought, this is pretty cool. I think of the Honda MotoCompo. That's the one folding mini bike that I think of. But during this time, the 1970s, this thing was going strong too. Here's another little video. And this one looks like it's stainless steel. That is so clean looking. And off he goes. As we scroll through here, 1974 to 1979, this has the specific handlebar style, and this is the bike. And then we go a little further into 1979 to 1985. The handlebars straighten out, it looks like, and the bike itself changes slightly. It looks like the muffler is different compared to that other one. Yeah, look at that giant muffler. So they got rid of the muffler. It's a little bit smaller now. And then we get to 1985 to 1989. And I think this is the one that I seem to come across on marketplaces and stuff is used. So this one seems a little bit more popular. The gas tank's built into the frame. Do you see this whole metal piece right here is the gas tank? And we'll see in later models as we go further down. And I think the latest ones, we keep going. And I think here, yeah, this is the stainless steel model. And see, now the gas tank's plastic. I have not seen this one specifically out for sale used. I haven't seen this. The ones I keep seeing are the earlier models, ones like these and stuff. The reason this is so fun to talk about is this little mini folding motorcycle. You know, 1970s, the idea of an electric motorcycle is it's not on anyone's radar. They're thinking about small, portable, gasoline-powered mini bikes. But the key thing about this is a street legal, legit mini bike. I'll let this video play as I find some more stats about this. So we get to what would basically be the R2 all the way to the R7. And when these things sold, they were like $315, which in today's money would be about $1,400, which isn't too bad. I mean, that's about the price of a little e-bike or whatever. And you can see here, I mean, he's picking it up, but it's 100 pounds. So it's definitely a hefty little bike with The 49cc automatic, you would have 30 to 40 kilometers or 18 to 25 miles per hour. It was street legal in most countries. Fit in the trunk. It was lightweight. They called it lightweight. Eventually, they do end up making an electric version of this when we get into the early 2000s. But before we get to that, I just like to see this thing unfold just to see this. So it's just unzip the bag. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, it's 3 clicks, right? Click. Click. Oh, it's almost like 2. And then he starts it up. And off he goes. See, that one's licensed. It's ready to go. Street legal. And if we're going to talk about folding motorcycles, we got to talk about the military motorcycles. This is a British Paratroopers bike called the Welbike. And this thing would be deployed from airplanes with a parachute, drop down, and they would open it up and just take off. And this thing was mass produced, and the British Paratroopers actually used this. Couldn't find any old films of the Welbike being deployed, but I found this scale model recreation we can enjoy. So the Welbike gets launched out of the plane, parachutes down to the ground. The Paratrooper then parachutes down. He runs over, opens up the bike capsule, sets up the bike, grabs his gun, and heads off into battle. America had our own version, which was this little Indian motorcycle that would fold open and they could ride it, but it wasn't as mass produced and it was more of a prototype type of a setup. But still neat to see these two older style folding bikes. Now that we're so proficient on all the different eras, what era is this one from? Well, looking at the gas tank being metal, we know that it's one of the earlier models. I think it would be from, oh, it says it right there in the title. It's the R7. All right, there we get a closer look at the automatic transmission, chain driven. Pretty straightforward. Kickstart. The muffler is like on the bottom. I like the original muffler from the very first edition, but as the years progressed, they modified it and updated things and obviously moved to the plastic gas tank. And it's pretty cool though, because they started producing these in 1974 and they're still producing them today. So what is that? Like almost over 50 years, right? That they've been making this bike, which is pretty neat. So here's the electric one. And if you haven't noticed yet, look at that price tag. This is not a mistake. $4,495. Are you getting one? That's USD as far as I can tell. This is the DiBlasi R7 electric foldable moped. And it looks like they're basically reusing this entire chassis and they just retrofitted it with electric and the battery. Now here's the unique thing. It weighs the same. That's the part that blew my mind. I was doing my research here and the electric version of this bike weighs about the same as the gas version. So you're not saving any weight, but you're limited to about 25 miles per hour. Your range is about 30 miles. The battery can be removed to reduce the weight if you're packing it separately. The extra battery costs $545. So here's a video of the electric one. How many people have seen this? 21,000 people 4 years ago. Perfect for commuters. Okay, so the headlight looks like it's changed. Oh, this one has a back rack. You see the rack on the back? Lithium ion battery. Lithium iron battery. You see, is that what it said? Lithium iron. Little speedo gauge. Little horn. This one, I see the turn signals. See the turn signals up there? That's the first time we get to see how that little latching mechanism works right there. I wonder if that changes from the earlier models. Producing this bike for as many years as they have, this should be the most affordable electric bike, I would think, because they basically mastered the building techniques, right? That's what I would imagine. If we go back 1974, the Honda Monkey bike was around, the Z50, and they're about the same size engines, slightly different. The DiBlasi is a 2-stroke engine, and the Honda Monkey bike is a 4-stroke. To do a little side-by-side comparison, obviously the DiBlasi folds, the Honda Monkey bike doesn't, but here's what's interesting. The size isn't that much different. The only thing on the Monkey bike is the handlebars that fold down, but that does fold down, making it a folding bike. And here's the unique thing. They both weigh about the same. The price is about the same as well. When those bikes came out in the 70s, they priced about the same. So obviously the fun factor of that folding DiBlasi bike is cool. But when you think about it, if something's gonna weigh 100 pounds, you could easily just have it be a Monkey bike, right? And because I think it looks a lot cooler. And as I'm looking at this picture, do you guys notice anything? Look at how the handlebars fold down and the seat on this older model Honda Monkey, it folds down just like the MotoCompo. This thing is such a crazy cool form factor. And I honestly never even knew of this bike up until a few years ago. Honda only made this bike from 1981 to 1983, and there was only 53,000 units made. So these are kind of rare. So we put these things up head to head to the DiBlasi. Both the Honda MotoCompo and the DiBlasi both have the 49cc engines. MotoCompo is a 1-speed automatic. The DiBlasi is an automatic belt. I didn't realize just how small this thing is. If we put these two side by side, I would have never guessed that the MotoCompo is almost 4 inches shorter in length than the DiBlasi, which is wild to me. And it was marketed the same way, you know, put it in the back of a car. So comparing the MotoCompo to the DiBlasi, which one do you like better? That folded up or that folded up? DiBlasi looks like a pile of mini bike, doesn't it? It just looks like the parts and pieces, like, here you go, see if you can get it back together for me. Where this just looks like a refined little weird, crazy little thing. I think they could have made this more compact. Like that front wheel could have folded in or something cool. It had like a top handle on it, but the weight of both of these are the same, which is surprising because you'd think this just looks so much lighter, doesn't it? Like you think of this giant thing, or what I think is giant, you know, this just looks hefty. That is the same as that weight-wise. Because of how limited the production was of the MotoCompo, the resale on these things are kind of crazy. You're basically looking at $5,000, $4,000 to $5,000, if you can even find one. Super rare. But let's watch this thing open up because I want to see exactly how this works. So you set it down, kickstand down. And it's funny because, you know, Honda made this, but I wonder why they left the seat exposed. It seems like that whole top panel could just be a piece of plastic. So there's that. It does have a cool look. It's very 80s. If you did have to compare the DiBlasi to this goes together very slowly. Oh, the kickstart. That's a weird little kickstart on that side. And there's that thing that says carrying point. So there it is. I want to know why, of all the things that China imitates and copies, why didn't they copy one of those? Why can't we get a cheap version of a MotoCompo? Even if we could just get the shell and we could retrofit a scooter, a custom scooter or something. Like they have all those imitation monkey bikes and stuff. Where's the MotoCompos, right? Is there anyone that actually makes aftermarket retro style MotoCompo? Now the cool thing is in the used market, you can get one of these for like $800 or so in medium okay condition. That's just the magic of Facebook Marketplace, right? Actually, let's go there real quick. So here are the ones that came up near me. It looks like this is one of the later models. You can see with that plastic gas tank. I didn't realize, okay, it does have speedometer. It has turn signals too. Kind of do like the yellow one. There it is folded up. What's it say here? Engine, 2-stroke, single cylinder, kickstart, no shifting required. Mileage, only 158 miles. It looks like it still runs. There's the pile of mini bike right there. What do you think? $875, 17 weeks ago. I'll save it. Okay, it's not that close to me. Looks like it's North Carolina. This one looks like a little bit older model, which is pretty classy looking. There's the dual shocks. It does have the smaller exhaust, so that's how we know that it's a little bit later model, not necessarily one of the very first models. There's the pile of bike right there. Not much to it, huh? Just some pinched tubing. Yeah, is this even something I'd ever want to bother with? I don't know. Let's see what else is out there. Was there a third one here? What's this one look like? $1,800. $1,800. Get out of here. Actually, real quick, because I just want to see MotoCompo near me. Here we go. It was listed 2 weeks ago. We'll save that. Kentucky. Kind of cool. It's, oh my goodness, what am I thinking? $4,200? It just like clicked for a sec. My brain was thinking $1,400 for some reason. That's a car. Well, look, it's got busted up taillight. I could make a replica of this that didn't necessarily fold up. I mean, it wouldn't be that hard to make the handlebars fold up. I almost wonder, you know, you think of the Honda Monkey bike, the handlebars already fold up. Just put a little shell on it, kind of like a Halloween costume, right? Make it look like a MotoCompo. You can get a monkey bike in there, no problem. Just kind of have it wear it like a barrel. It's kind of like those costumes. You know the costume I'm talking about, like the barrel. Here we go. I found another one. $5,800 in Maryland. What? Are people actually getting this much money for one of these things? That is insane to me. Would you get one of these for $5,800? I think they're cool, but I'm thinking we could figure out how to make one that looks close enough. I guess the idea is to have an actual one, but that is just hard to justify that kind of money. Maybe that's the problem. I'm just way out of my price range looking into these things. I found this MotoCompo that's like covered in grass. Now that I know that they cost $5,000, I don't know what. If you spend that kind of money for one of those though, why the heck would you cover it up? The whole point of it is the hard shell. I know I mentioned this in another episode about Pinterest just has all kinds of cool photos and stuff. Oh, here, this is what probably I can afford right here. That's what I can afford. That'll be easy. I'll just get a mini bike and just build a chassis around it and just have it say MotoCompo. Make our own. Maybe that's what you do. You take a Honda, you take a DAX, the old CT70s, and convert one of those over because they already got that long body. So this is what the frame looks like on this thing. Technically, would you call this a folding mini bike? Because I realize the monkey bike handlebars come down as well. I guess because the seat actually does lower down, compact, so it folds, I suppose. Here we go. This is more what I'm gonna probably be able to afford. What the heck? 3-wheeled version. Look at this off-road version. What in the world? Look at those tires. Is this even real? What is happening right now? What in the world? Look how cool that is. All right, let's regroup. I found this video and it's kind of fun to see it actually mounted and set up for exactly what it was designed for, taking on a trip somewhere. And I think on the website they market it as like put it in your airplane and stuff like that, but this one's on the back of his van again. So he takes it off, loads it up, and I've never seen this color. It looks like it might be custom painted. Gets it out, sets it up. Okay, you got a little lock under the seat. I've never seen anyone use that lock, so that's good to see. Kick starts it. Did he turn the gas on? I don't know if I saw him turn the gas on, and off he goes. I guess it does have a little bit of a rack over that rear tire. It looks a little sketchy. Let's go back to that. Okay, keep an eye, watch him. Oh, okay. Well, that might have put the nail in the coffin for me. I love the idea of it. I love the era it came out. It made sense. But for what it is, I still think the Honda Monkey Bike is a cooler bike, though, because the form factor isn't much bigger. Load up 2 of those and you just open up the handlebars, tighten them, turn on the fuel, kickstart it, and go. Except you have 3 gears you can shift through. All right, that's all for today. See you next Monday.